So like, what is the real goal of being a parent anyway? It's kind of strange if you think about it. Like, best case scenario, your kid turns out better than you did. Obviously, you can have some pretty awful parents. If you had awful parents, you probably want to do a better job parenting your kids than they did for you. But also, I think even if you had great parents, one of the best things that you can do to really honor your parents' legacy is to do better than them, to take what they've built and created because they did better than their parents, hopefully, and kind of pass on that tradition. And I don't know, it's something I've thought about a lot lately, especially with the birth of our second daughter. Like, at the end of my journey, what would signify that I did a good job? What is the end game for me? What do I want them to come away with? I really just want them to do better than I did. I want to equip them with the tools and the experiences to do a better job of parenting their own kids than I did. So I decided I'm gonna make a song about it.
Think I'm in love again, but I'm still afraid of doing everything over. Yeah.
I started working on the first verse, and I think it's coming together really well. I've kind of had some lines sitting in my phone for a few weeks. That's usually how I write songs. I come up with an idea of something I want to talk about, and then I throw some lyrics down and notes that kind of suck, but just kind of get out what I'm trying to convey. And then once I have enough material for the song that I'm wanting to construct, I'll start piecing it together and figuring out what's going to be the chorus and the bridge and the verses and yada, yada, yada. So I think I've got a pretty good scaffolding for the first verse. One of my favorite songs that was really explicitly dedicated to being my firstborn daughter's song called Tailspin. And the intro lyric says,
Welcome to my life, where I could use a little bit of help making songs you like.
I always really like that lyric. I've always had a little bit of anxiety about writing music and writing songs about my life and my kids and my family, and then them growing up to inevitably probably think like that their dad's music was kind of lame. With this song being the first song that I've written with the new context of having a second child now, I kind of wanted to echo that sentiment a little bit. So right now, working on the first verse.
Hey, I hope you like your name. I'd love for you to stay. I'm thinking we could learn a dad and daughter it's a date.
As a kid, you never realize that your parents are like figuring it out as they go. Like, obviously once you get older, you know that, but as a kid, that's never how you're looking at it. They're just your parents. But like, I'm trying to figure out how to do this stuff in real time. One thing I've really struggled with going into having a second child has also been knowing that long term, I really want more kids, but also knowing that the newborn phase and going through all the sacrifices that you make to have more kids it's not fun. With our firstborn, we had kind of a tough newborn phase the first 6 months. It was, our firstborn had colic. It's a huge life adjustment. It's a huge routine adjustment. It just disrupts and dysregulates a lot of you and your life. I would do it a million times over, but it is very much a grind. It's not the ideal time, but it's not something you can skip either. So going into the second child, I have really struggled with just like knowing that I'm falling in love with this new kid, but I'm also just terrified of kind of restarting everything. Like, we have a 2-year-old. We just got out of the trenches of having a newborn, of that first year of getting to where, the 2-year-old is more self-sufficient, can play independently, can be trusted to walk into a room by themselves vaguely. And now we're kind of like resetting everything. So I honestly just have a lot of anxiety about that. But like, I think that's what is cool about music, is that you can be honest about things. I feel like you can express complex emotions. You're like falling in love with your newborn, with this new kid again, but you're also like still like absolutely terrified.
I think I'm in love again, but I'm still afraid of doing everything over.
Like, I don't want to get older, but it's also tough because like getting older has so many rewarding things about it. And there's so much to look forward to having and starting a family. It creates a lot of fear in you, but it's also such a unique and rewarding experience. Like, I think I've enjoyed my years from 26 to 30 so far more than I enjoyed the years from 20 to 25. It's really complicated, wanting to move forward in life and being excited about the new experiences while also kind of being terrified of it and like hating the idea of getting older.
It's the promised land. Why does it hurt so good growing older?
Writing lyrics is really weird because I'm always in fear of either oversimplifying things or making everything too vague. With a lot of the music that I grew up on, I was really into kind of like overly poetic lyrics. And I also really liked when there were lyrics and lines here and there that you didn't really know what they meant, or they could apply to several different things, or maybe they just kind of hit you because they applied to something in your life and you have no idea if that's what the lyricist actually meant. When I was younger, I used to write lyrics that were honestly far too complex and far too attempting to be poetic. Whether or not they were good is neither here nor there, but it ended up that most of my songs were kind of hard to really understand what they were really about, which didn't really bother me at the time. But being older now, one thing that I found is that I don't love a lot of country music, but country music is often about storytelling and song. And frankly, I think that country music's storytelling in song is often way too blunt and direct and to the point and lacking in any poetic variety at all. It's just always kind of bothered me sometimes when you hear a country song on the radio. The lyrics are so straightforward and blunt that they don't even rhyme. They don't feel good. They often opt for a lyric that doesn't sound or feel good for the sake of it being real and personal and exactly what the artist wanted to say. And I do think that there's some value in that. I often don't agree with the way that it's done in country, but when I started this current musical project as Cortright, I wanted to make a conscious effort to write songs that people could understand. Like, you could infer things about the songs and what they meant and also apply them to your life. But also, I wanted you to understand what I was writing about a little bit more than I did when I was younger. And that's resulted in me kind of having to learn some new ways of writing lyrics. And I'm always scared of being like towing the line between being too blunt or also being too vague. But I say all that to say that I'm really excited about the chorus for this song.
I learn to do it better when I can't control the weather. This song is like a letter for the days I can't remember. Can't help but thinking we might be alike. Hope you get my traits I like. Hope you build an extraordinary life. I know you'll do it better.
Really just encapsulates the theory behind the song for me in a really special way. But the most special lyric to me in that chorus is not necessarily the part that hits you.
This song is like a letter for the days I can't remember.
The lyric actually hits home for me super hard because memory is something that I struggle with a lot. It's part of having ADHD, but it just in general, like I have really bad memory. Memories for me are really special, and I really love photos and songs and videos because you can return to memory a lot easier for me with something kind of physically attached to it, whether it's a sound or a photo or a trinket or something. So I've taken to, as I'm getting older, I've taken to really trying to like instill memories and feelings into objects, even if they're songs. Because for me, revisiting a memory is important, but I'll never revisit it if I don't have a reminder of it, because this song is a way of immortalizing something for me. And this is the first song that kind of speaks directly to my second born child, who is, I guess at the time of making this, about 2 months old. But at the time of kind of working through the lyrics, it was like right around the time she was born to the first month. So there were a lot of feelings going on that I wanted to get out. Are you ready to get out of there? Say hi. Yeah, I'm talking about you. She's mad at me. I'm gonna have to get her up. I want my listeners to be able to find themselves in the songs, but I also just want it to be a really true depiction of me and who I am at the time. It's really cool for me to be able to, as a dad, make art, something resembling art that captures the times of my life, because like all of these songs are meant to immortalize the things that I want to say to the people that I care about and even to myself for the times when I can't really remember. So I just got the final mix back for this song, and oh my gosh, I cannot wait for you guys to hear this. I feel like this about almost every song that I make, but I'm always like, this is probably one of the best songs I've ever made. Could be totally just gassing, but I'm in love with how it came out. Primarily because I think it's just a really, really earnest song that feels good. It's got kind of a majestic, almost inspirational vibe, but I feel like it's really authentic as well, which is kind of hard to do. When I'm writing songs, I've been working extra hard to try and genre blend and bend well. And I don't know that I was able to create anything like that no one's ever heard before or anything, but I do think the genres that I picked and the ones that I love that I was able to blend in have one of the most seamless blends of the music that I made. It retains that same pop core that all of my songs have. The production sounds great, but I was also able to implement some more synth wave elements rather than just like synth pop, which is something I've always wanted to do. And I feel like one thing that I've been leaning more into is my natural guitar style, rather than trying to write guitar work that fits into a synth pop style. But my personal style tends to be a little more riff heavy, really more focused on intricate rhythm, which is akin to something more rock rather than pop. And then finally, especially in the later parts of the song, like the bridge and the outro, I feel like I was able to bring back some of that old school 2000s pop rock, Taking Back Sunday, Mayday Parade, you know, all those like emo pop rock bands. It's something we don't see a lot anymore, is like just a bridge in general that's like a completely new section of the song, but also kind of bringing everything down to a really emotional core and then layering up some vocals. Nobody really does that enough anymore. I'm also really pumped because this was the first song, hold on, let me grab it, where I was able to use this bad boy, my new baritone. Jazzmaster Squire. They don't actually produce these anymore. Had to cop this used, but I wanted to bring that guitar into the fold to try and add some new layers to the pop sound, because I don't think that pop music uses that type of guitar enough. And it's really subtle in this song, but I think it makes a massive difference, especially in some of the low notes. I don't think you get something that guttural sounding and emotionally driving without it. But I'm so happy with how it came out so far. Well, here we are, and I'm going to quit yapping. It's release day. It's been quite a bit of time since the rest of the recording of this video. It's finally time for Better to be out, so I'm super excited it's out. I'm super happy with how everything came out. Everyone that's heard the song so far has had nothing but good things to say about it, and most importantly, my family likes it, especially my kids. It's become one of my daughter's favorite songs right now, and that's really all I could ever ask for. Every night when she goes to bed, she asks us to sing songs for her. She typically asks to sing songs of mine, which is abundantly flattering, and this has become a nightly request. So I'll leave you with a little recording from last night's bedtime.
Hey, I hope you like your name. I love for you to stay. I'm thinking we could learn a dad and daughter today. I remember when I met you in my mind. Had to change some things about myself I knew you wouldn't like. But I'm so afraid of doing everything over.
Sing a goodbye.